Play that Lauryn Hill. Play that India Irie. Play Marsha Ambrosius. Go back. Break down that Biggie. Break down that Pac. Tell them that where we at with the struggle we going through, that ain't where they got to be stuck at. Our kids need a message. These people that we listening to, that we bumping, turning it up, no, they ain't the ones. They ain't the ones. It's a fad. It's a fad. You don't listen to this dumb mess. These kids can't write frontwards or backwards. Give out kids that real music. If y'all ain't gonna raise y'all kids and y'all gonna let y'all kids listen to this and y'all gonna let them be raised by music and reality shows and everybody else that ain't you, let them listen to the real, man. These families ain't what it is. Listen to y'all mothers and y'all grandmothers when y'all tell them he ain't the one, she ain't the one. Why you got that girl in my house? Y'all ain't listening to none of that. Y'all want to be everything else but you. And what you know, it's a mess.
Thank you.
Hey, that was real. Hey, we gotta go. It got deep. I thank all my guests that came. It is what it is. Radio.
Real quick, man. Real quick, man. Follow me on Instagram, Choice_IZ_ready, man.
Social media.
You are listening to BK, and then this week. Last week was our anniversary celebration, so the show setup was a little bit different. So I guess I probably was like, wait a minute. So now back to our regularly scheduled programming. We're back and in effect. So again, TGIW, I'm excited to be here with you. This is like the most exciting time of my week, other than on Sunday when I go to worship service with my church family.
Right. That means a lot. That means a lot, because that means you like seeing me.
I do. Aww. You know. Robbie. Yeah.
Hi.
I can tell. I can tell.
Otakon is in 2 days.
I know.
And I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
And I will be looking.
I know that's right. You better go in. That's right. That's out. Work it out. Work it out. All right. I am the Miss Be Inspired. You like the way I did that?
Yeah.
And that on
you
to
adding
it.
the to it. Okay. All right.
Miss Be Inspired. And I am here with the co-host
Jabril Morris. I felt the there, but it works is by itself. So Jabril Morris.
You're telling you. It has that ring. Yeah. It sounds like a personality name or a newscaster.
Yeah.
A newscaster.
Yeah, it sounds professional.
A weatherman or something. And
it
now
sounds professional.
The weather with Morse.
It's funny because I have to announce my name, my first name, because I guess I haven't. Okay. I guess it's a Baltimore thing.
So it sounds like Jabril. No,
a lot of people get that.
What is Jabril? Jabril?
I just say Jabril. And it's a lingo for me. Right. Like, I know what I'm saying. But people outside of me, they'll say Jabru, and it's like, no, Jabril. Like, I got to add that L.
Jabril.
I got to roll an L. I don't know.
Wait, say your last name.
Morris.
It sounds like you're saying.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Instead of Morris.
Morris. That's what I say. Jabril Morris.
Jabril Morris.
Morris. See, that's what Baltimore.
Jabril Morris.
Jabril Morris.
Naming you.
Like more.
When I first met you, I thought your last name was Mars.
Say it like that, though.
For real?
Yeah. I used to
Mars.
Because how I felt as though it should have been pronounced.
Good lordy.
Jabril.
Oh, no. So, what I had to do is, when you have your children, make sure you teach them how to pronounce their own name.
If I have a daughter, it's not a complicated name.
Okay.
If I have a son, he's going to be a junior yet.
Oh, okay.
I want him to be, but different than route.
Jabril is cool. Yeah. Jabril is a good name. Like I said, Morris, it sounds like radio or TV personality name or host name.
Anything.
And now, Foursquare with your host, Jabril Morris.
Like, I have a suit on and everything.
Right.
So anything. I don't want to be the host of Price is Right. Price is Right is just.
I know.
It brings memories.
Why?
Because, you know, when you're younger at your grandmother's house and do nothing but watch daytime television. Oh my gosh.
It must have been scarred. Raise your hand in the studio.
Catheter commercials and Cialis, Viagra commercials. I don't want to see that.
Hey, all y'all out in Inspired Radio land, if you were scarred, call us at 702-5657. Us at
443-642-9403.
Yeah, tell us about your experience when you were younger and you were forced to go to grandma with that really old auntie. You retired and you had to go to her house. They had to watch you and do all the shows that they like watching. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you an answer. Okay. My grandmother used to be an advocate of Wheel of Fortune. Oh wait,
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, but no. Let me tell you. She used to score every week. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Yeah. She kept a running tab. She had this little notebook paper, or it was like a little pad. Day she would keep score of Wheel of Fortune. Ask me that. I don't know.
Wow.
But every
person of Fortune,
every person that was on Wheel of Fortune, that she would know who the champion was for that show and knew that they would come back or whatever. I was like,
I just used to watch it for fun. Like, oh, he won't be making it to the next round. So it was one of those. Wow.
Yeah, she used to keep score for real.
Probably kept her busy though.
Yeah.
So
and an accountant. That was her.
That was probably her side coming out then.
So she liked tallying up, dollar amounts that they would get. It was amazing. Never understood it. I was like, of all shows, you kept score of Wheel of Fortune.
Well, my pain story is Young and the Restless, soap operas. Oh gosh, soap operas.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Black by Demand Radio Show. I'm your host, Brother Mike. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so welcome to the show, everybody. It's the Black by Demand Radio Show. I'm your host, Brother Mike. Thanks for tuning in with us. And today we are here with my guest, Miss Janice McCaffity. How you doing, Miss Janice?
I'm doing very well.
You doing good?
Yes.
Well, welcome back to the Black by Demand Radio Show.
Thank you.
It's good to have you back. Miss Janice was with us on the last show, in case you guys missed it.
Thank you for inviting me back.
No problem. We enjoyed you. We want to get more women active with the Black by Demand Radio Show. Yep. We got plenty of men, but we're trying to get some more of the sisters active, so we appreciate you being there. So how's everything going for you?
Everything's going well. It's been a good week.
It's been a good week?
Mm-hmm. It's been a great week.
No complaints? Hurricane didn't get you?
No.
Let me give this number out. Give me 1 second. 5, 6, 5, 7. All right, so for everybody listening, we appreciate you guys tuning in with us. And we want to get some good participation out of you guys today to participate in the conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and give the number out for the call in right off the back. So you can call us in at 410-702-5657. That's 410-702-5657. Please call in, participate in the conversation. It should be a pretty good conversation. So let's talk about what we're going to go over here today.
Okay.
So today, what I want to do is I want to highlight a book. I think as black people, we may not do enough reading. That's the word on the streets. So I kind of want to highlight a particular book today. So this particular book I want to talk about today is called Black Labor, White Wealth, The Search for Power and Economic Justice. And this is by Dr. Claude Anderson, if you guys can see that book. So it's Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. This is a really, really good book. I encourage people to check this book out and check out Dr. Anderson. Dr. Anderson is kind of on the forefront for trying to educate us on things we can do to put ourselves in a better position as a people.
It's a little interesting so far. I'm about a quarter way through that book.
So you familiar with this book?
So
you familiar with? All right. She's familiar with the book. Nice, because I don't expect everyone to be familiar with the book. So I'm going to try to familiarize everybody with the book myself. So within his book, he's got a section on developing black empowerment strategies. Okay, so within this section, he's got 9 strategies that we should start to do in order to empower ourselves, right? So I'm not going to go over all 9 strategies, but over the next maybe couple of shows, we're going to pick out, maybe, 2 to 4 of them and kind of go over what he's trying to teach us with these strategies and get you guys' opinion on how you feel about the strategy. If you guys agree with it, if you think it's great, if it's not a plan that you could support, I kind of want to go over that a little bit. So today is going to be strategy 1, and strategy 1 is leadership.
All I can say is I hope there's some good strategies. You said it's 9?
Yeah, it's 9 of them total. So we're just going to do strategy 1 today. We need about 20. So let me tell my audience a little bit about Dr. Claude Anderson. So I will clue you in about Dr. Claude Anderson. Okay, so Dr. Anderson is the founder and president of the Harvest Institute. You can find that online at theharvestinstitute.com. This is a think tank whose mission is the social and economic reform of Black America, which is great. He's a well-known political strategist, businessman, educator, and economic development consultant. Dr. Anderson was a former official of the Jimmy Carter administration. So here's a man that was a part of politics, D.C., and a part of an actual presidential administration, which to me means he knows a lot of things. He's seen a lot of things from the inside. He's a real estate developer. He maintains ownership interests in retail food businesses and was among the first African Americans to own a radio station. So you can imagine, as a talk show host, I feel honored to, speak a little bit about something on a man who was one of the first Black people to own a radio station. He obtained his doctorate of education degree from Wayne State University. And I also want to add in there that Dr. Anderson was actually the person who put together the affirmative action plan.
Where's he from?
Dr. Anderson actually lives here in Maryland. The Harvest Institute is actually located in Bethesda, Maryland. So it's even better. Big up Maryland. We in the building. So yeah, Dr. Anderson is definitely a favorite of mine. You can check out his videos on YouTube. Just look up Dr. Anderson. And 2 of his favorite books for me is Black Labor, White Wealth. And then he's got another book called Power Economics. And we may cover that on another show. But for the next couple shows, we're going to try to focus on his 9 strategies for developing Black empowerment. So strategy number 1 is leadership. So before we even get into his analysis of leadership, let me ask you, Ms. Janice, when you hear the word leadership, Black leadership in particular, what comes to mind? And for those listening, feel free to type in and give me your answer as well, or either call in. What comes to mind when you think of a Black leader? Or do you think we even have Black leaders?
Yeah, I do think we have Black leaders.
Okay.
What comes to mind is just a person being able to gather a bunch of people together and just being able to get them to stand on one cause or whatever your idea is, getting a group of people to go along with it. And enjoy it and like it.
Find some people that's going to allow you to lead them, huh?
And enjoy it and like it.
And enjoy it?
Yeah, try and lead them.
When I think of
try being a leader to Black people.
Leadership, of course, as a Black person, I got people like, Jesse and Al that pop into my head. But I actually... notice I said they pop into my head.
Okay.
I don't actually see them as our leaders. And I had a conversation with a brother. He kind of wanted to debate me on that, as far as, why I don't believe that Jesse and Al and people of that stature are leaders. And it's a whole bunch of different ways I can approach that, right? As to why I don't think they're our leaders.
Right.
But in the most simplest way, I would say, well, I didn't vote for them.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I didn't like, a leader is usually somebody, if you're going to claim to be a leader of Black people in this particular situation, we should have some say in that. Like, how do you become a Black leader when, we didn't vote you to be our leader?
That's true. It's how can just the 2 of them have a voice for pretty much almost 43 million people.
Right. That we did not vote for. So these are leaders that were assigned, because I think when we as black people, I think when we select leaders, even though it may not be through an actual voting process,
right,
but we show it through the support. I think the leaders that we select get exterminated. So I said to him, you'll know if it's a black leader that we selected, because they'll give him the blues. If not, they might kill him. I mean, I feel that we selected Martin Luther King Jr. We picked him as our leader. They killed him. We picked Huey P. Newton as our leader. They killed him. We picked Malcolm X as our leader. They killed him. We did not pick Jesse Jackson and people like, Al. And they still here. Food for thought.
So I guess
food for thought.
They just picked them for us.
Well, we're going to get into that. I'm going to give you Dr. Anderson's take on that. But I just wanted to start it out and kind of find out, what do people even think of when they think of a black leader? Because like I said, unfortunately, I do think of Jesse and Al, but I think that's just programming. You know what I mean? Like, that's surface value of a name I would spit out if you asked, right?
Right.
But on a deeper level, no, I don't see them as being, a leader of my people, And, I'm not knocking what they've done. I don't want to be a heretic, but, Okay, Miss Dennis says because they are controlled. Bingo! That's what I'm saying. These people were put in place for a reason, It's a little control going on here. So I don't necessarily see them as leaders. I've seen other people who doesn't have nowhere near like the social status of like a Jesse or Al, but I think they were in positions where they were leading.
And of course they're probably controlled. That's why we only see them during certain times.
Exactly. So that's not someone I can consider to be a leader, because it seems like everything they participate in somehow, some way benefits them.
Right.
And a true leader kind of got to get in the trenches and get some things done.
And a true leader needs to be working every day, all day, not just
they may be
certain days.
They may be. I don't know if they're working for us.
Right. Well, that's what I meant. Working all day, every day for us.
But they definitely working for us. All right. So let's get into what Dr. Anderson defines as a leader.
Okay.
Black leader in particular, right? So Dr. Anderson says leaders are individuals who can induce others to cooperatively work towards certain goals that represent the values and motivations of both the leader and the followers. Okay. So that's what I was saying, right? It's got to be something to benefit, us as well. To fully understand the nature of leadership procures understanding the essence of power, because leadership is a special form of power, right? The goal of forming new black leadership is to acquire for blacks in this lifetime economic, justice, wealth, power, and equal employment of the rewards and benefits of the American dream. So that's Dr. Anderson's definition of what a true leader should be. What do you think about that? You agree with that?
I agree with it.
You agree? I think I agree with it too.
Everything we like in economic, justice, wealth, power, equal employment, everything we like in.
Yeah, I think that's a good definition of a leader. I like how he defined it himself, because again, when you get into learning about language, you understand that most of the definitions that we as black people have for any particular thing, it wasn't necessarily our definition. Maybe in African culture we had different definitions than with European culture, if there's a such thing as European culture,
and I guess
what Europeans may have taught us.
And I guess since we're so far behind on everything, I guess it shows our leadership is in trouble.
Yeah, I don't think we even have any. You know what I mean? I don't think we even have any, because I believe those people are put in place.
Right.
Almost like the Pied Piper, with the flute. When these people get to going out of control, we're going to send out Jesse, we're going to send out Al, calm them down, make sure they don't do anything that's really going to boost them up.
And we probably don't have any. That's why it's so bad.
Right.
Because we don't have any leadership.
Right. So, which means this type of conversation is needed.
Right.
Because we need to find out why, as black people, you know, we are so content with not even being able to recognize if we have true leaders. And if we do, did we participate in the process of making them our leader? Or was this just some people that was assigned to us by higher powers? Because that's what it seems like.
Well, obviously, it's probably some people that was assigned to us, because we don't nowhere near have leadership like we did back in the day. This leadership we have now is obviously assigned to us. It's just...
Was that a caller? We got a caller? Looks like we might have a caller, folks. Hello, caller, can you hear me? Hello, caller. You are on the Black by the Man radio show with your host, Brother Mike. Are you there? Yeah, I can't hear anybody. Okay, I guess we lost the caller. We had a caller for a second there. Caller, if you're listening, please call back in. We'd love to hear your comments and love to talk to you.
Please call
and
back.
try to answer any questions that we might have. So give us a call back.
Call back.
So yeah, I think I think these people were put in place for a reason. I don't think their position is to necessarily lead us anywhere.
Right.
I think it's to keep people, you know, somewhat calm, right? And then actually prevent us from actually coming up with certain plans to do better, you know, because they kind of pull the steam out of it, you know, by taking control of it.
So you don't feel like we have any leadership at
I
this
don't.
time?
I don't feel like we have any leadership that's truly on our team and truly not afraid to stand tall for black issues. You know, what our leaders like to do is switch everything to like some minority type thing. See, I don't even agree with the word minority. I'm not a minority. I think that's all a part of the Jedi mind trick. Like, dominant society represents 2% of the world population.
Right.
Which means 98% of the world looks like me. But you have somehow convinced me that I'm a minority. I find that interesting. But anyway, we're going to go to a commercial break on that note. So stay tuned, Black by the Man radio show. Today we are talking about leadership. We'll be back.
Only in the forest can you see this. But nothing beats the moment you see that. Cool! That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. And you might just see this. Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement.
Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know they're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step.
You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Ladies, are you in need of the best quality hair extensions, a cute outfit, or that perfect pair of shades? Pink Ice products can cover you from head to toe, from flawless weaves to apparel. Visit us online at pinkiceproducts.bigcartel.com. We're located at 3000 Old Alabama Road, 119-303, Alpharetta, Georgia. Or give us a call at 470-488-6484. Come on in and check out Pink Ice products today.
What a crowd, what a turnout.
What a crowd, what a turnout. Really? In the middle of a hurricane? What a crowd, what a turnout. I find that to be insanely stupid that you still worried about crowd sizes when people are supposed to be sheltering and bunkering down, but you're still up here worried about crowd sizes.
I find that to be amazingly. It's sad. What did y'all do to this country? Not to sound like InfoWars. What did y'all do to this country? Y'all put this man in power that already had a big ego, and I don't know why did y'all think a big ego was going to be a good representation of anybody in this country? His ego outweighed his presidential stature, and it always was going to be that way. He's a loudmouth buffoon. Now that's a buffoon. I heard somebody else got called a buffoon today. I can't remember who it was, but that word just popped right back in my mind. So now, even not only is he doing that in Houston, but in his rally that he had in Phoenix, like last week, the week before, he told everybody that there was 15,000 people there in this rally. Then, you know, the fire marshal of that state of of the city of Phoenix had to come in and say, well, the building could only hold 4,200. That was the max. So where did these other 10,000 people come from? Liar. A habitual liar. And that's who the people who voted for him chose as president. So now, I think that's it for him. Let's talk about my weekend real quick. I just had to get that out because I started off with that prayer. But my weekend was freaking awesome.
I hope so.
It was. You were there.
It better have been. It better have been epic.
Can you, no, it was epic. Starting with Friday. Friday, I had so much fun. I'm sorry this mic is in my face like this, but I'm on the radio. I think I'm going to do this often. It's like a little series of exclusive invite-only parties because they're at my home and I only like certain people. But I had a blast. I mean, it's a lot of debauchery that goes on in these parties, so that's why it's exclusive, because you can't have the snitches involved. Oh, sorry. Let me turn you up. Look at me. I'm on live. I hate when people do that. Like, you don't know I'm on the radio. That's so stupid.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, family, to the Black by Demand radio show, sponsored by BlackByDemand.com, the one-stop shop for black business. And you can catch us here only at BeExposedRadio.com. So welcome everybody back. In case you guys missed it, today's topic is leadership, but we're focusing on the analysis of leadership from Dr. Claude Anderson, who has a book called Black Labor, White Wealth. Definitely check this book out if you guys get a chance. It is a great read. It's very educational. It's not a very thick book, so you know, you don't have to be intimidated by it. You can get it at Powernomics.com. Now, I want to say this. Dr. Anderson said his books are also available on Amazon, but when you purchase his books from Amazon, he doesn't get the money directly. So I'm going to suggest that you go to Powernomics.com to get his book. Again, that's Black Labor, White Wealth. Okay, so in his book, he has a section called Developing Black Empowerment Strategies, and it's a total of 9 strategies. So we're focusing on strategy 1 today, which is leadership. So let me get to this question here that we have. We have a text in from somebody. All right. So one of our listeners, Kenny, says, I think what's passing for leadership today is the opposite of what we need. Today's black leadership fails to understand that although they have people following them, they fail people when they do not have a goal in mind. Okay, Kenny, I like that. I'm going to agree with that. You know, like I think you can capture more people and have them accept you as a leader when you present goals, because that's what he's saying. He's saying, okay, these people are supposed to be our leaders, right, but when do they step up and say to us, you know, here's our goal, this is what we're trying to achieve with this. So
I agree with Kenny too.
Yeah, great statement, Kenny. Appreciate you, man, sending in that. Let's see what else we got here. All right, Justice Wisdom, he says it's definitely not about what the leader gains, but more importantly what their following gains. This is why leaders should create leaders, not followers. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Have a concern. He's saying it's not about how they progress. It's about what they're doing for the people.
Right.
And it's very evident that over the years, these so-called leaders, if I look at Al in particular. And again, I'm not trying to be a heretic and critique them, but as a black person, if you're claiming to be a leader of my community, I got a right to critique it. But like, here's a man that went from standing on ladders in the middle of like New York City to now having a show on CNN. So going to what Justice Wisdom was saying, we can clearly see his progress. We see the benefit that you've gained from, you know, becoming this so-called black leader. But what have we gained as the followers of you? So that's definitely a good case of it.
And that's what Dr. Claude Anderson said as well, that the leaders should be beneficial to
right,
both
exactly.
and the followers.
Right. So our first question was, what is a black leader, or what do you see as a black leader? So we'll still leave that open on the floor if you guys want to, you know, chime in and let us know your thoughts. But we're going to move on into Dr. Anderson's analysis of black leadership. So he has an analysis within this book as well as recommendations. Okay. So let's get into his analysis a little bit, right? Let's get into his analysis here. All right, so in his first analysis, he says, and I quote, "In a competitive society, there are no mechanisms to give voice to unorganized and inarticulate groups. Mainstream society tends to oppose extra measures to include such groups. Dominant white society in particular develops and conducts its substantive training on many fronts simultaneously within the government, academia, the media, and corporate and other institutional structures. They manipulate and manage these entities so that they will reflect dominant white society's wishes and attitudes about all major socioeconomic issues, especially race. Blacks have limited access to and control of established institutions." All right, so he went down the rabbit hole a little bit with us on that one, right? But if I take it just from the top, where he says, in a competitive society, there are no mechanisms to give voice to an unorganized and inarticulate group.
Right.
I think what he's getting at is that we got to play the game. You know, like, we can't just sit back and complain about these leaders, because there's no room in society for any group that's unorganized and inarticulate. Okay. So he's saying you gotta have people put together in certain positions to represent you as leadership, who are organized and can articulate what we want to achieve through our leadership, what we want to achieve through the goals of our leadership. I think that's what he's getting at with that. I mean, did that register something different with you, or you think that's what he's getting at with that? Because I'm focusing on competitive society, mechanisms, unorganized, inarticulate. So if I look at that in reverse, he's saying this doesn't work in society if you don't have it. So you have to be competitive. You have to have mechanisms. You have to have a voice and be organized and not unorganized. And you have to be articulate about what you're trying to communicate, I guess, not only to your people, but also to those who hold the power to allow you to help advance your people.
So, yeah,
and I'm not sure
with
if our black leaders actually represent that. You know, you get what I'm saying? They're not out here campaigning for us. They basically campaigning to keep their position. And part of their part of their requirements to keep that position is to do certain things when it comes to us. So that's step one of his analysis. He's saying that, you know, we don't have the organization or enough articulate groups to represent us.
So, like, how would we go about even establishing that?
Good question. So that moves us on to the next analysis, right? But before we go to the next analysis, he has a small section where he talks about where the leaders come from. So I'm going to pose that question. Where do black leaders come from? Where do you think they come from?
Well,
and listen, feel free to say I don't know if you don't have an honest answer.
Where do they come from?
Right. Where do black leaders come from? For all the listeners and the watchers out there, that's the question we're putting on the board. Where do black leaders come from? I would like to hear from my audience as to where they believe or feel that black leaders come from. Text it in or call us 410-702-5657. That's 410-502-702-5657. Let us know where you think black leaders come from, because I think that's an interesting question. And I think the same way that me posing that question to you has now got you inside your head thinking it. I think that's what it does to all of us, because it's something we haven't considered. Where do they come from?
They don't come from our neighborhoods.
For real.
They come from our communities.
Yeah. God damn it, I know where oranges come from, but I don't know where these black leaders come from. You know? Where do they come from?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, honestly, I can't pinpoint any particular thing that they come from either.
I don't remember electing.
Right, yeah, we definitely didn't elect them, right? So, so let me tell you what Dr. Anderson says. Okay, so Dr. Anderson says, black leadership too often does not spring forth from systems of leadership training, but rather results from a call into community service by a higher power to resolve a particular dilemma. It follows that the calling is answered usually from the ranks of the most independent sectors of black communities, churches, small business operators, and community agencies. So Dr. Anderson is saying the reason why you and I cannot come up with an answer as to where black leaders come from is because they don't spring forth from any systems of training. So basically, no one can pinpoint a particular answer, but I think he's basing his answer off of what he has currently seen. So he's saying these people are selected by higher powers, right? Yeah. And the people that are selected usually come from independent sectors of the black community, such as churches and small businesses.
And okay, so if you say it that way, I guess it kind of makes sense then. Because when something is going on, who do we see?
Yeah, well, he's flat out telling us that we're not electing black leaders. Sure. There are powers in place that are choosing your black leaders for you, and they're not choosing them from a system of leadership training.
Right.
So they don't have a pool of people where they say, you know, these particular black people are in training to be leaders. Right. You know, they went to school to be leaders, or they got into the political arena to be leaders. He's saying that's not where they pull our leaders from. You know, now he's not saying that we don't have these pools and that we don't have people who want to be in leadership positions. He's saying that's just simply not where they're pulling our leaders from. Okay. They're pulling our leaders basically based off of popularity. You know, so if you can be that popular pastor, you understand what I'm saying? If you can be that popular, you know, news person or whatever, like these are the people that they're choosing to be our black leaders, and they're not really truly leaders. They're chosen people, you know, put in a certain position.
Yes, and what I'm saying is, if you basically look back, that's exactly right. Because if you look at who's talking on these television shows, they're pretty much like the dominant person in our community. Right. Okay. Those are the faces that we are seeing. So that kind of makes sense.
People we already familiar with. People who already are gaining some type of popularity. Right. Makes sense. Okay, so stay with us, folks. We're going to take another commercial break, and we're going to continue to discuss where do black leaders come from. And again, call in 410-702-5657. Brother Mike, Black by the Man Radio Show, only at BeExposedRadio.com. We'll be back.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait, hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug.
Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Ladies, are you in need of the best quality hair extensions, a cute outfit, or that perfect pair of shades? Pink Ice products can cover you from head to toe, from flawless weaves to apparel. Visit us online at pinkiceproducts.bigcartel.com. We're located at 3000 Old Alabama Road, 119-303, Alpharetta, Georgia. Or give us a call at 470-488-6484. Come on in and check out Pink Ice products today.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
If you had a dream venue, where would that be? Like, some people want to do Carnegie Hall or like a big stadium somewhere.
I want to go with Madison Square. I wanna feel that
So
building.
you just gonna shoot for the moon.
I want to feel it. I want to look out and just feel the vibration of all of those people there to be uplifted and all of that, because that's what I want to do for people.
So are you dancing? Are you...
I want to implement that. I think I want to start doing some blocking. Like,
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Black by the Man radio show. I'm your host, Brother Mike. For those who haven't tuned in from the beginning, today we are highlighting a book, a particular section of a book, Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. And within his book, he has developing black empowerment strategies. So again, it's 9 strategies. We're just going to go over a few of them over the next couple shows. But today we're doing strategy 1, which is leadership. So the question that was on the board before we went to break is, where do black leaders come from? I really would like to hear from my audience about where they think black leaders come from. You know, so please call in 410-702-5657, or you can text in as well. We want to hear from you as to where you think black leaders come from. The boards are a little quiet, but I think they're quiet for a reason. I think it's a question that is really making people think. Where do black leaders come from? Dr. Anderson says that they're not springing forth from systems of leadership training. So, second part to that is, he says, lacking access to comprehensive data, talent banks, and well-trained organizational leadership, Black America has no formal way to assess past accomplishments of potential leaders. It is difficult to distinguish between benevolent and self-serving leadership, which is, that's interesting. He's saying that we don't have access to data banks of talented black people who want to become trained as organizational leadership. Nate, come on in, brother. I appreciate you sitting in with us, man. Everybody welcome Nate. Nate, what's going on, man?
It's a fly on the wall.
It's a fly on the wall. Yeah, so that's the question on the board, man. Where do these black leaders come from? And then he's saying we don't have a measuring stick with people who we think are black leaders. We don't have nothing to compare them to. And that kind of makes sense, because if you look at, again, I'll take Al and Jesse, right? What are we comparing? Yeah, what are we comparing them to? You know, and of course, I don't see them as my leaders, but, you know, I don't want to knock what they do, you know, but as a community, this is how society sees them as being our leaders, right?
Are you thinking about the individuals that are coming up now? What are we comparing them to? Or?
Well, okay, anybody that you see that you may see in a position of being leadership. So Dr. Anderson saying, okay, if you accept that person as your leadership, what's your measuring stick of how well they're doing as far as previous leaders before them? You get what I'm saying?
I think now the leadership is being measured by how much they are doing for me as an individual.
Right. That's right. Now I think that's what he's trying to say. What are we using as a measuring stick? Because if you look at somebody like Al and Jesse, okay, well, what was before that? Martin Luther King. you understand what I mean?
Plenty of leaders. I think the leaders that we have now, and I go back to the Freddie Gray incident. I was sitting at, I'm not going to say the black institution's name,
right?
But I was sitting in one of those, like a meeting that was totally separate from the riot or whatever you want to call it,
right?
And the leader of that was somebody who marched with those same individuals you just named. And he said, I'm not going out there with them young people marching.
Wow.
I've done that.
Right.
Go to a meeting and have a conversation with the government, the state government,
right,
and see if we can do some things with them,
right,
and talk. But let them go out there and march. And
that's the younger man's fight.
No, that wasn't right. But
younger generation, I should say.
Yeah, that's their fight. But they didn't have any leadership
back
to guide them.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So the leaders that we knew of, that we could measure our new leaders off of, are like they're taking their hands off of it because they feel like they've been there, done that. But they got the leadership when they were out there marching, and I think that's. That's
where the training and stuff came from. It was basically on the job training.
Right.
Okay, so that's what Dr. Anderson is saying. We don't have a talent pool to pull from. You know what I mean? When we need these leadership positions or somebody to step up.
Known leaders are now sitting in boardrooms or like
see
in Sharpton on their TV shows or their platforms, and instead of being on the ground level, training people how to, do sit-ins or do marches. They don't feel the need to do that, and that's across the board. We see that in the music industry. We see that in the athletic world, in the arts in general. Nobody wants to train somebody, so they get mad when young people do things like riot a city.
Right. And I'm assuming your perspective is if you would have gave them some training, then maybe they might not approach it that way.
Or they would have still approached it, but they would have been prepared for what was going to happen.
Right.
They wasn't prepared. Some of the young people that were out here being leaders now were not prepared for the other young people who were just raw and angry.
Right. Okay.
They weren't prepared for that. They weren't
prepared
to be peaceful.
Okay.
They weren't prepared to be prepared. They just were sent out there or chose to go out there without any type of leadership. So our leaders today aren't, or the leaders of yesterday aren't being leaders anymore.
They're not being leaders.
So what are we supposed to do today then?
Rally the same way. So people like yourselves that see this happening
and have this conversation,
be leaders. Don't just let young people be young people and like, because we forgot the same thing that happens in the church. It took you 60 years to learn that hymn. I just came to this church. I don't know that hymn.
Right.
So we're forgetting that it takes time to get to a level of being peaceful and being smart about that.
Right. It's a process.
Right.
Yeah, it's a process. Yeah, he says it's difficult to distinguish between benevolent and self-serving leadership when it comes to us. Like, because we have such a lack of leadership. So if Nate steps up and becomes a leader, right, and then everybody's feeling good about Nate doing it, it's going to frown on me if I step forward and be like, but y'all can't trust Nate. You get what I'm saying? Because they're going to be looking at me like, well, what are you doing? It's he say, she say, right?
And even still, I mean, we still have to have more than one leader. Like, we can't throw it all on Nate's back.
That's true. So that
like Nate.
Right. So that moves me on to number 3.
Somebody has to be watching the children. Somebody got to be cooking the food.
Right.
Our army is not just the people with the guns. Like,
exactly.
There's a whole team of people doing work.
Okay, so his third point on that was, he said, many blacks who are capable of leadership, right, lack the tools of leadership, access to organizational power, media, and money. Blacks who accept the mantle of leadership often fail to significantly change the conditions of Black America because they are reactive rather than proactive, single issue or event oriented, and weak on long-term planning.
I don't want to disagree with him on that, but I must have to say I disagree because it doesn't take money and it doesn't take time.
Right.
And we have been conditioned to believe if you don't have Oprah money, then you can't tell me nothing.
And that's true. We definitely believe that.
That's that's the worst thing, because Oprah came from somewhere. She wasn't born.
Right.
You know, so
Oprah
we gotta,
of WJZ.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Which is to run around the track.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right, so again, that's the question on the board. You know, where do we get our black leaders from? We're going to continue on this topic. We're going to go to commercial break. This is Brother Mike, Black by the Man Radio, with my host, Janice McCaffity, and now my main man, Nate, has joined it. Nate, I appreciate it, brother. We'll see y'all in a few.
Check out what you missed on Be Exposed Radio.
Listen to Elizabeth Warren talking about black lives and black life.
Police are not occupying armies. This is America, not a war zone. I speak today with full knowledge that I have not personally experienced and can never truly understand the fear, the oppression, and the pain that confronts African Americans every day.
Don't you just want to kill yourself? I mean, not from what she was saying, but from the music that was playing in the background. I just want to, oh gosh, but every word she said was prolific, and it did not come from what is now becoming mainstream as white privilege. She has a sensibility about her, and the way she speaks about different things that has, from the first time I saw her, I can't remember what state she's in. I think she's in like North Carolina or something like that, somewhere I'm not going. That some kind of sensibility about her that makes me like her for president. But she's not running. We have this old guy that looks like he should be on the popcorn box. Then we have Martin O'Malley. Fine.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Black by the Man Radio Show. We are here talking about leadership and the analysis of the book Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. So we were just discussing where our leaders actually come from. And it's definitely a question that go on forever and ever. So let's see here. Educate your brothers and sisters. See what type of comments we got here. All right, so Kenny says, speaking about where our leaders come from, what role does today's youth play in appointing new leaders? So that's Kenny's question. So what role does the youth play? That's a good question, because being that we actually don't vote on our leaders, like what role can they really play? You know, other than when we have one that's supposed to be our leader, they can say either we are with him or we are against him, because they're not getting a chance to see like a voting poll of here's the possible people to be black leaders. So their involvement, I think, is limited until we actually assign one. And that might be why they take a lot of things in their own hands.
That's what I was about to say. That's probably why they're out there doing all the rioting and everything else they're doing.
Right.
Social media is determining now. So the person with the best platform, the most likes, the most popularity, or the best popularity, they're becoming the leaders. And we're seeing that that's not always just because you click like on something, that person your best possible choice. But the person who is diligent and doing what they're supposed to do that may not have as many likes don't get heard. And
especially if they're saying they taking the popularity, then if they're taking pastors out of churches, I mean, yeah, they might be used to pastoring, but as far as leading a team and
that equates to status or economic ability, like that doesn't equate, because Trump is wealthy on paper don't make him the best possible leader for this country. And we see that. You know, just because you're popular or you're well known, I'll say it that way, you're well known, don't make you knowledgeable about everybody. Everybody knows you. I mean, you know everybody. And I think that's what's happening. And we're being driven down by the millennial, and I'm kind of like on the tail end of being a millennial. So we're being driven by that, and they don't care about education. They don't care about economics. They don't care about relationships. It's just, I have something to say. I'm going to figure out how to get it said. And that's not breeding good leadership, because nobody's going to pay attention to that after a while. At some point, you're just barking.
Right.
And nobody wants to hear that. And people are, and you know, on the other side, we equating wealth with knowledge.
Right.
And we know there's a lot of rich fools in the world.
Yes, it is. Yes,
so
it is.
doesn't always
Yes, it is. And that does seem to be something that we look at. Popularity, wealth, things like that. We have been somehow convinced of the illusion that this person's a leader. And that doesn't make you a leader, because leader, like you said, has nothing to do with your finances. It's more about your passion for what you want to achieve for your people.
$1 million.
Right, right. Oh, that's what happened with Trump?
Yeah.
he became president.
But we seeing that, you know, money, you just could be a good singer.
Right,
good,
right.
You know, good at doing this one thing. That didn't mean that you were ready to be a leader. I've had several supervisors who was like, I was like, how did you get to this point? Like, were you just here longer than everybody else?
Right, they just had no choice but
like,
how'd you climb this ladder, right? All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So now we're gonna get into his fourth analysis. Now we're gonna go down the rabbit hole a little bit on this one, right? So let's enter the rabbit hole. Let's get a little heat going here, right? Okay, so has integration had any effect on black people's sense of community? So that's the question being posed. Has integration had any effect on black people's sense of community? And of course, integration, he's referring to when we were now allowed to go to their schools, you know, go to their restaurants, so forth and so on. So I'm going to read to you what he says on that. So Dr. Anderson says, the dream of black and white integration caused many blacks to abandon their interests in maintaining a strong sense of community, or to know, trust, and be responsible for their neighbors' well-being. Responding to the integration process, black civil rights leaders have sought to accommodate and assess institutionalized white power and wealth rather than seek and establish their own.
This sounds like a millennial, right? That is crazy.
Yeah. So you get what he's saying, though?
I understand what he's saying. I don't agree with it.
Right.
But it's more so individuals that believe that, like, we were better off when we were separated, are crazy.
You think so?
One, because we were never truly separated. People were still sleeping with who they wanted to sleep with. Their friends with who they wanted to sleep with. The pursuit of and access to wealth destroy our sense of community.
Yeah, I think
I didn't need to live at home with my parents, and I found a way to live on my own. That destroyed our communication.
Okay.
Not trying to be like them, trying to assimilate. I think ruin our sense of community.
And I think that's what he's trying to say. I don't think he's saying that integration was completely wrong. I think he's saying a side effect of integration was that we forgot about us because we now had access to the better.
But it wasn't the mixing, it was us trying to assimilate, trying to
and he does say that. Well, let me find it. He says black leaders have sought to accommodate.
We started going to work for this. We kind of left building our own businesses alone.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He says black civil rights leaders have sought to accommodate and access institutionalized white power and wealth rather than seeking and establishing their own. So that's what Nate's saying. You know what I mean? That, you know, it's not that it was such a bad thing, but a side effect of it was we kind of lost track of our own. Like we now wanted to be successful within their system.
So when I was able to go to Yale, I didn't see the importance of a Harvard or a Howard or Coppin or Morgan.
Right.
Because I was able to now get into Yale.
Right. So you felt like you was flying above that. Right.
And a lot of you see when the Freddie Ray thing, I heard a lot of people who no longer lived in Baltimore talking about Baltimore since they moved on. Like, see, I knew this way it was going to be. As soon as you get a little bit, you're able to move out to Mill, to Woodlawn, and do things that you weren't able to do as a child or your family was never able to do. Now you are above it all, and you forget.
You forget.
You forget. So that separated us. That pursuit to be like them, is what destroyed us. The mixing was already there. We lived in the same town. We weren't able to live in certain places, so those were the issues. But I don't think integration. If we had not integrated most of it, we wouldn't be sitting right here right now. There wouldn't be a black Be Exposed or a 92Q or black business in terms of being able to compete. the moment we were able to compete with them, that's when because then we start turning against our own self.
Yeah, that's what he says. We lost our strong sense of community. Because like you said, if you now began to make it within the rankings of their system, you wasn't concerned about strengthening the community. You was trying to get the hell out of there. And that's what a lot of people have done. So instead of thinking, because I mean, like, I don't have a problem with people moving, because like if you in the hood, you don't want to stay in the hood, right? But if that's where you come from, you should still have an attachment to want to improve things. For those who can't jump up and go buy a $500,000 house like you might have been able to do, you know, so like you still got to have that sense of community of what you can do to make things better from where you come from, instead of just saying, hey, I made it out. That's on y'all.
You know, if I'd have stayed where I came from, I would still be in Cherry Hill.
Right.
And I don't want to be in Cherry Hill. Like,
Cherry Hill, Big Tone, what's good?
But that's just, you know, but we have this ideal of I have to either make it over or I have to stay here and suffer.
Right.
Like, nobody, you know, the fact that we demonize Jordan for having Jordans, but yet we still go buy Gucci, and we not saying anything about the
Don't
man.
forget about iPhone and Apple.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like we demonize ourselves for wanting more, but then once we get to more, we forget about the people. Some of us, I'm not gonna say everybody. And then it's like that 50-50 thing. Like, I hate you for doing, or I'll build you up, and then once you get on that platform, I'm ready to kick you off.
Maybe that's where all our competitiveness came from too. Then maybe that was
because we feel like it's a bottleneck, and only a few of us are. Because that's really what they're telling us. That only a few of us can
make it through.
Only could be one Whitney and one Michael at a time. You know, now it's Beyonce and Jay-Z, and you know, it just gets to that level. Like, only a few of us can be at the top, and that's something that we told ourselves because of what we've been told and shown. Like, but it's room for everybody.
It is.
We don't see the significance of being black and empowered anymore. As a community. As an individual. Oh yeah, I gotta get mine.
Sure. Right. Proud to be black on that level. Like, yeah, I'm a black man. I made it. You know.
On that.
But it's like, but you know.
What about your brother?
What about your brother? Right. What about your brother? So yeah, I definitely agree with him on that. The sense of community has weakened. He even says that, you know, we don't even have a concern for the well-being of our neighbors anymore.
Our children. You have parents that aren't even saving up for their children to go to college, or having them with health insurance.
But don't forget they cute doing all that though. They got them J's on and got the cell phone right now. You're not preparing them. And I've had conversations with people before, and they get a little frustrated when I say it, because you know the truth just hurts.
Because I'm taking care of my child.
Right.
You say that what you're doing right now will be beneficial to them 10 years.
It ain't gonna be beneficial. And when they get a certain age, 17, 18 years old. Right, and then you didn't provide them with that fresh look for the past 10 years, and now you cutting it off. You 18, go buy your own stuff. Well, he don't have the money to get it, so I think that's how a lot of them end up hitting the streets. He gonna try to maintain that image that he developed, and now he might have to get a little drug money involved so he can keep it. So it does like send them down the wrong path. You know what I mean?
Or not even on that level, but they go work for somebody for the rest of their life.
True.
And not do what they really are here to do. So they miss their calling. And there's a lot of young people that's in my generation with 50-plus parents that did not work hard enough or did not sacrifice in the right direction for their children long term. And a lot of us are now like struggling because we're trying to not be in that 9-to-5 mentality, but we don't have a choice because nobody prepared anything for us. So now we're right where our parents started off at. And then you know how are we going to sacrifice our own children?
And that's what my sons say now to this day. Like the younger generation, they would love to do their own thing and have more businesses.
I definitely think they're more interested in building.
A lot of them can't, because as soon as they hit 18, it's like their parents need them to go to work and help them out. And now they're not able to, you know, sit back and work on what they want to work on. They're not getting that opportunity.
It feels selfish on our behalf to be like, well, mine, like, how can I help you pay the bills if, you know, what am I going to do? I remember having those arguments, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to move out. Because if I'm paying half for something, it's going to be all of my bills. And I felt strange, and not so much towards my mother, but I saw my family leaning on my mother like that. Like, and this was crazy. Like, how can somebody help out their children if they're not well off? It's the same thing. I can't teach you what I didn't get myself.
Right.
And how do we then move forward if there's nothing to give you?
Right.
You know, you don't have a dental plan, so your teeth jacked up, your
Yeah.
eyes jacked
Yeah.
up. You don't have a sense of money. You don't know how to balance a checkbook. And then you thrust into adulthood and be like, make it.
Make it. And for those that even start surviving as young adults, right? When you check back 25 years later, that's all they still doing is surviving. You know what I mean? Like, sure, you know, like they ain't go underwater, but they never started actually thriving.
Yep.
Just surviving.
At 21, that happened to me, and a lot of my friends was like, I'm going to Towson and I'm going to major in such and such. At 34 now, a lot of those friends are coming back to me like, well, you know, how can I get a radio show? I was the crazy one for trying to be this artist.
Right.
But a lot of them are now finding that I went to school and majored in something and owe all this debt to something I don't even want to do. I was just trying to follow a trend, and I did that. I thought I was going to be the black male teacher and the black male nurse because they needed black men in both fields. And I went to school that first semester. I was like, I don't want to do either one of these things. I'm not doing that. But a lot of people stuck to that, and now they have degrees and 10 years into a job that they hate.
Yeah.
And it's no different.
They in that mousetrap now.
It's no different than the person that's trapped in a McDonald's job flipping burgers.
Right.
So you're at the same level. Most of them working at the same place now.
Right.
So it's hard. Like with parents, just try a little bit harder. Not just parents, but uncles and aunts and grandparents. Try a little bit harder. Give that child something to start life with instead of bills or debts. We all got the Capital One card and the Sprint phone on our collection notice right now.
It was a real good video on Facebook. I think it was like last year when I seen it. I don't know the brother's name, but the brother is some type of speaker. And the video was on Facebook where he went to a black high school and he was speaking to them for free. You know what I'm talking about? And they was being disrespectful. And you know, he got on them and said, listen, man, like I'm here talking to y'all black students as a black person because I love y'all. This for free. Okay, when I go to the Jewish schools and the Asian schools and the private school, they pay me to hear me talk this. And they sit quietly and listen and take notes because they know I'm dropping jewels, right? I'm
the world of a teacher.
Right, you know, I'm giving them good stuff. He's like, and here I am in the black school, and I'm not getting paid nothing. But I'm coming here because I love y'all. I'm from this area, so forth and so on.
I think he went to that school.
Yeah, he went to that school. And he's like, and y'all sitting in the audience giggling, playing on your phones, so forth and so on. It's disrespectful. So that shows that the youth, they're not even used to it. You get what I'm saying? So we definitely dropped the ball somewhere, and I felt his pain. Now, after he dug in him, he said some choice words to him, right?
Because you're frustrated.
Yeah, he was very frustrated.
Now you see why people move away and don't come back.
Right. And I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, I experienced it myself, even with Black by Demand. Like, you know, where I'm from, I definitely thought that, you know, people would get on board and understand what I'm trying to achieve. And as a business owner in the Hartford County area, you know, I know a lot of other business owners, and I talk to them all of what I'm trying to build with blackbydemand.com, you know, and the ads are $20. Like these business owners, man, they ain't place no ads. You understand what I mean? And it's sad. You know what I mean? It's very, very sad. And we definitely got to figure out areas that we need improvement and then attack it one way or another. Like you said, even if it's just your personal family that you're trying to make some changes with, but that could spawn off into something else. What they call it, the butterfly effect, right? Yeah, you know. So yeah, I agree, man. So I think having platforms like this helps to stimulate thought process.
But it's still, no matter what your platform is, and I have a cousin who opened up, he owns Flight Restaurant. And I have relatives that do catering. And no matter what your platform is, if your people are not willing to support you, and you don't have to come on my show, you don't have to sponsor my show, but share it with somebody who
Yes, right.
But we can't do that.
We can't do that.
Around and saying who else gonna say your name.
Sure.
Somebody else will support and say your name.
Right.
Then you're really you're willing to talk about it. But
that is so true. We love the waiting game. Like I have business owners that have went to blackbydemand.com, and because I don't have 1,000 ads on there, they didn't want to put their ad on there, you know.
But somebody had to be 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right,
5,
right. And I'm saying,
to 1,000.
if you was really thinking, you would love that it's not a lot of them on there, because your ad's gonna stay on the front page. But we just don't get into that thing of being the lead. We gotta wait and to see, okay, now that it's getting a little popular, let me go and put mine on there. You know, and I think we got to come out of that. So yeah, I agree, brother. Like, we got to figure out a way to you know, educate our children at a minimum. Because with adults, it gets a little difficult. It does, because when you deal with an adult that is 34, 35 years old and older, right? Let me lay it on you. I'm gonna tell you the range you in, Nate. When you dealing with an adult that's 34 to 35 years old, the chances of you getting them to see things differently from
shell is starting to harden.
Yeah, it's starting to, the shell's starting to harden, the window's closing. You understand what I mean? The window's closing. But the youth, they definitely have a more open mind. And then because of things on social media, not just the negative, but there are positive people on social media, even if they don't watch the video for an extended period of time, something's going in their ear. So I think it's caused them to be a little bit different. And they starting to realize that, okay, maybe we can be whatever we want to be in this world and not have to follow suit. Because, you know, when I was young, you know, if you got the job at the local factory, like, your parents is basically like, you better stay there. That's a good job. You get benefits, so forth and so on. And I was always like free-spirited, even as a youngin'. So me wanting to be an entrepreneur and be a business owner, which I am current day, right? But through my youth, like, that was insanity to grown-ups. Black people thought that was insane. What is that boy doing? What does he keep quitting them jobs for? They could not understand that I didn't want to work for nobody. You understand me? Like, they almost thought something was wrong with me.
But it wasn't about you not working for anybody. It was that you had your own dreams.
I had dreams too, exactly.
And
I had dreams.
It was not to make Walmart dreams.
That's right. It was not.
Like,
it was
his
not.
family good right now.
Right. They real good.
I watched my uncle who worked for Cloverland. I watched him work that job his whole life, and he wound up retiring and within the 6 years passing away. And I was like, I don't want that. He had the house, the car, the family,
right,
and nothing to show for other than sitting in his house drinking a Coke 45. That was it.
Right. That's terrible. That's terrible. All right, well, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back in a few. Black by the Man Radio. Janice McCaffity, my man Nate Couser. We'll be back.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
GIW, you're listening to the Be Inspired Radio Show.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired Radio Show. Now here's one little speech I'm going to give you before I get into the next article. Here's what I want to tell you. Still, fear is big business. Fear is big business. I'm not telling you not to be alarmed by what you're seeing. I'm not telling you not to be concerned. What I am saying is not to buy into the notion that we should be afraid. You should be informed. You should be aware. You should start educating yourself. about some things. I don't have the solutions. I don't have the answer. I wish I could say that if you did X, Y, and Z, you might not get shot by the police. I wish I could tell you that, but I can't. But what I can say is just start making yourself aware of what's going on, but don't be so consumed by what you're seeing that you become afraid, that you don't want to go out. Or you become numb. That's a good point, Nate. Nate said, or you become numb to it, like you just don't care. So we need you to just continue to be in touch with what's going on, but educate your family, talk to your sons, talk to your daughters, because it's not just limited to men. We know from Sandra Bland, she was a young woman who was killed. And we don't want to say, we don't know all the details behind what happened. No. The fact is that person's life still matters. They still have rights. They should not just be killed dead before they even get a trial. Okay, that's the point. They deserve a trial at least, but they can't even make it to the jail cell to get a trial to be tried. They're being killed even before arrest. Terrible. So that's my soapbox.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Man, it is what it is. Man, it is what it is. Well, it is what it is.
This Fly T Miles, also known as Tyree Miles, and Mr. Miles the writer.
Hip Hop K, check us out every Friday on Be Exposed Radio at 9/11.
Coming to y'all soon.
Only in the forest can you see this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. And you might just see this. Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Are you thinking about getting your GED?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Condition people to stop learning. You get what I'm saying? All right, we back on, Nate. Welcome back, everybody, to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. In case you missed any, we're talking about Strategy 1 of Dr. Claude Anderson's 9 strategies for empowering black people, out of his book, Black Labor, White Wealth. You can buy it at powernomics.com. I want to give notoriety to this comment here. Miss Sherelle Adams Jackson. She says that because our society builds industrial workers. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think it's always going to be a percentage of us that's going to be willing just to be worker bees. The worker bees are needed, but it's got to be a higher percentage of us that actually want to create businesses and go into entrepreneurship and try to build something, that's not only going to help your kids, but might even help your community as well. So I'll move on to number 5 with Dr. Anderson, though.
He's a controversial writer.
Yes, he is. I love it. So he says black communities tend to seek out one leader or messiah at a time. Most often such an individuals is the most visible person rather than the most able or committed, which is what we were saying. Find invisible people. The lack of self-imposed standards for black leadership makes it easy for a dominant society to use its powers to anoint within the black communities, which is what I was discussing with her. Like, these people are being assigned by people who don't look like us. You get what I'm saying? They're the ones who are saying, listen, we're going to put you in charge. See, that's how you go from standing on a ladder in the middle of New York City to having your show on CNN. And Dr. Anderson actually speaks about that. So he says, unwittingly or not, this method protects the interests of dominant society and allows it to manipulate which black leaders will be publicly acknowledged, repeated or rewarded, right? Respected or rewarded, I mean. Institutional powers are used to discredit or remove aggressive blacks, often labeling them as radical or offensive. So do you think when you have blacks to step up that are a little bit more aggressive, society tends to want to shut them down?
I think we can't keep calling them society. I think we need to keep calling them black people.
Black people?
Black people have a problem with somebody telling them the truth.
They do?
Black people we as black people have an issue with anybody who is replacing a parent in our life.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like that authority figure.
We definitely don't respond well to authority.
And we can't blame other cultures for being dominant over us. We gave them that dominance.
We definitely gave them that dominance, and that's something I want our people to recognize. It's a game being played. Like, I understand it completely. Like, I'm that black person. I don't have a problem with white people supporting white people. I don't have a problem with Asians supporting Asians, Indians supporting Indians. I have a problem with black people not supporting black people. Why are we not playing the game like everybody else?
We don't take ourselves seriously.
Yeah, we must not, bro. We must
we
not.
Don't. This on the and you know, I know you're a barber. I'm not going to
don't slay us.
But I sit in a barber, and sometimes I'll go into business and just test their customer service.
Right.
I sit in a barber shop. And nobody walked up to me and said hello. Nobody said, are you looking for a barber? I had never been to this barber shop.
Right.
And I sit there. I listened to the man. I finally got waited on, and it was very awkward. I don't normally go to male barbers because it's too. They don't care. They just don't care.
It don't work out, right?
They would care about your well-being. And I got in there, and I was in a chair, and another man came in there, and he said, asked him about, you know, is he my next? And he said, yeah, you can go after this gentleman in the chair. He said, do you take cards? He was like, nah, we don't do that. And another person that was just sitting there gave a better explanation than the man who was actually cutting hair. He was like, yeah, our system is down, lying through his teeth.
Right.
And the guy, you can tell the man that was trying to get a haircut just was like, he's like, well, do you take, you know, Apple Pay or Google Pay or Square? And the man was like, you know.
And it's so easy today to accept cards.
And I was sitting there like, this was a perfect opportunity. We on North Avenue. It's very mixed now. You know, this was a white man trying to get a haircut.
Wow.
From this black barber who came into your establishment that wasn't set up as a barber. He just saw that there was a barber on the side.
Sure.
And said, let me go in there. This would have been an opportunity for people to start coming in.
Right.
Because the barber that they were going to, their shop just closed down. So this one sounds safe. I was sitting there like, sir, all you gotta do is download the app on your phone.
It's very simple. The little swiper is free.
He told him go next door to the Chinese store and they have an ATM. So I had to down pay to get my money out.
Go to the ATM, dog. Wow.
And you know, just simple things like that. Like, we don't take ourselves seriously. As soon as we get something of our own, I come in when I feel like it.
Right, yeah, that's no good.
I'll have somebody sitting in a chair waiting on me. And I'm not just saying, but barbers are starting to get a really bad rep.
Right, yeah.
Because they just don't care.
It you know, as a barber myself, as a master barber.
Raising prices to
right. As a master barber, that effect has actually benefited me because I'm the exact opposite. You know, I treat the customers for what they are, someone that's patronizing me. I'm a great barber, but I'm not the only great barber, right? So when someone comes to me and they decide they want to deal with me, I try to be appreciative of that. Because, yes, I'm going to give you a good haircut, but you can get a good haircut from other people. So the fact that they patronizing me, I feel like I should be grateful for that.
I'm the type of person, I would come to Hartford County to get my haircut.
You got to come on through, Nate. Come on through.
Mentality.
Barbershop 210.
You don't get it. And people, black businesses just don't. We don't have it.
Right.
We weren't given that 1-2 lessons. That's the importance of not getting your education from YouTube.
Right.
And really setting up your business in terms of watching other people do business and watching what works for them.
Right.
You don't have to go get an ATM machine or the old credit card machine.
Right.
Put it on your app.
That's what I got it on my phone. I got PayPal. I'll swipe it real quick. Yeah.
Like that.
It's very simple. Yeah.
Like,
it's very simple.
To cab drivers, now it's happening to barbers and restaurants. And it's just when we are in leadership for ourselves and doing business for ourselves, we set rules that are just like, how am I supposed to know every 4th and 5th Monday you're going to decide not to come to work? Like, how do I know that?
Right.
And your sign clearly says that you're here right now.
Yeah.
And then you're mad when people don't support you. Like, your behavior doesn't deem it important enough for me to support you.
Yeah. Barbershops definitely are notorious for that. I think, you know, from the perspective of being a barber myself, I think what happens with barbershops is, you know, it's 3 positions in the business. You know, you got the owner, the manager, and the technician. Most barbershops, the barber, who happens to be the technician, he's also the manager and the owner, but he has no management skills. And this is the first time he's ever owned a business.
He's the only one that has it together.
Right, or he's the only one.
And he's just getting that rental from them.
Yeah, because what happens in barbershops, because we are independent contractors, 1099 status, right? When we go work inside of a shop, a lot of the shop owners are afraid to implement rules. Now, my shop is a private shop. You know, eventually I want to have a full storefront where I got 4 or 5 other barbers, right? But when that happens, if you're in my shop, you're going to have to take my training, because I run my shop a certain way. And I think that's what they're not doing. They're, you know, these is regular street cats that got some skills and got license, but they don't know nothing about customer service and the personal skills. So then when they come work in the barbershop, and then the owner's not teaching it. So before you know it, you know.
Like, was that an employee, one of the barbers, or was that the owner?
That was, I mean, I want to say the owner, but anybody can be considered the owner if they can have enough money to open up a business.
Right.
And the place that it's at allows people to come in there. It's like a mini mall. It's like a little mall, strip mall in and of itself.
Right.
And I guess he just said, well, you got your license, you can come in here and be a
Sure,
barber.
That's where leadership has to be leaders.
Bingo, that's what I was going to say. So once again, it's leadership.
Even in that area, whether it be restaurants, whether it be, you know, I don't drive cabs for that reason anymore. You know, because they'll get over with you. Just last night, I was leaving here late night, and there was no other anything for me to get home. And the man was like, well, my credit card machine down. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? Like, I told them cab that I was paying with a card.
Right.
He was like, well, I don't know what to tell you, but...
Hey, I guess I'll see you another day then.
Go to an ATM.
Oh,
like,
man.
No, like, are you going to take that off of my bill?
Right.
He was like, well, I can't do that. Well, let's call Yellow then. But magically, the ATM, the credit card machine started working at that point.
Right.
Like, I mean, if you want to do everything under the table, that's fine.
Right.
But don't set up a business and expect for people to play by those rules when there are other examples of what not to do everywhere else. Like, this is why Uber
so again, leadership.
Right.
So leadership again. We're not being leaders. All right, let me move on, Nate. So let's see. So next, yeah, you definitely want to check this book out. So the next question is, why do we still have the same black leaders? You know, if we had to, you know, pinpoint a leader, and I use Jesse and Al as, you know, an example. And Jesse and Al, if you end up watching this, you know, no harm towards you.
It ain't nothing. Ain't
yeah, you know, I'm sure you've heard it before. And hey, you want to show me different? Come on to the show and give your side of it.
You don't have enough like that.
Right. they ain't gonna do that, right? But yeah, so why do we still have the same black leaders? So I'll give you his analysis, right? So Dr. Anderson says the world is rapidly changing, yet black leadership seems to be frozen in time. Too many black leaders continue to read from the political and economic scripts that are hopelessly short-sighted in addressing the myriad of fast-approaching domestic and international changes. Blacks witness the steady decline in the quality of their lives and exhort that things have gotten better. They borrow from conservative agendas and blame the problems on the symptoms and the victims rather than the systematic causes.
Oh, so you talking about the black person that now works at social service that has their nose up in the air.
There you go. Bingo. Yeah.
I'll be listening to words.
Right. That's
we're
it.
Lazy. We're lazy. It's the same reason why we criminalize Obama, yet we allow Trump to come in. The same, I mean, we don't care. We don't watch the news. I know I don't watch the news no more. We don't care. So if you're in power, hey, you're not affecting my life. If you're cutting off what's going on my table, then I'm good with you. Not realizing that person and leader may be a good person. They may be a bad person. So you're allowing somebody without voicing your opinion. We just went through, 4.5, almost 6 years of a mayor who obviously cared more about her appearance than she did about her city. That's it. And we have a new leader that's the same way.
Oh man.
She wears everything that she sells in her boutique, so she's basically advertising the boutique
for her business,
outside of being a mayor of our city. They don't care about us.
Wow.
Like, We see that in the Trump family. Like,
right, yeah,
she
definitely.
cares more about getting licensing to do international shoe sales for her business than she does about the causes that she said she was going to get. That's nepotism at its finest.
Right, yeah.
But we let this stuff happen to us.
We do.
Don't say anything. All of us are like, I ain't voting. And now everybody's so mad.
Right, yeah, that's true.
You didn't vote.
That's true. So do you think one of the reasons that our black leadership stays the same is because we just not even paying attention to who's even claiming to be a black leader? Like we're not active in saying this is who we want as our leader.
We don't care.
We don't care. Yeah. So we got to change that.
We don't care till it's outside our front door.
Yep.
That's when we.
And not even outside until it's at our table. That's when we. Oh, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Why did you get here?
Right.
You just opened the door and let me in.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not
That's
dealing
true.
with us personally. We just don't.
Because we have had the same ones for like a long time. You know what I mean? And like nobody's saying anything, even though I would say it's at a minimum a percentage of our community that doesn't even know. Again, going back to Jesse and Al, what they've even done over the year. And I'm not saying they haven't accomplished anything, but I'm just saying whatever they have accomplished, it must not have been on a scale large enough where we all know it.
But it's the same. So Jesse and Al have been doing this game for a minute. But I'm speaking to like the Charles Barkleys and the Ray Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like they can get up and speak for us.
Right, yeah, and that's no good. Yeah, you don't speak for me. Yeah.
Speak well.
Right.
So you can't speak for me. But we allowed that to happen because, like you said, somebody outside of our culture appointed them leaders of our community.
Bingo. Yeah, exactly.
And now they're speaking for us.
Because they knew what type of timing they was on. Right.
And we fell for it in the beginning because we were fans. But now Charles Barkley don't represent me.
No.
You know,
definitely not Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis don't speak.
Woo, I can't stand when he comes on. Yeah. I can't even take it. He's just so, I'm thinking.
Of nothing.
When I turn on the video and I say to myself, this ain't right, America. This ain't right. Like I'm just like, click. I don't even want to hear this, man. Like, come on, bro. Spit it out.
Go up there and speak to
your
community.
Yeah.
This man don't speak for my community.
No.
He don't.
He just trying to stay in the limelight one way or another.
Well, he don't care. Whoever's at the powers to be, those mentors he had with the Ravens or whatever, they're pushing him to do these things. They're pushing, say, hey, I think you represent the community of Baltimore City. Maybe you should speak to them.
Right. Now, I'll tell you what I saw Dr. Anderson speak on before, right? I don't remember it in the book, but he spoke on that. And he said that we as a people have to get away from having people in sports and in entertainment represent us through the media. He said, do you not understand that they doing that on purpose? There are people out here who could give a good representation, say, assessing a situation that happened. He was like, but you notice they don't do that. They go get Ray Lewis. They go get Chris Rock. He was like, these people are in entertainment. These are not no people, that can represent, what's going on in the community.
Because if Oprah doesn't say something, if Beyonce was giving all this flack for not giving money, right? So
you can't win. So you said you can't win, right?
Right, and they have these seats. It's just that everybody who has that platform isn't the best possible situation.
Yeah,
so we should not put all our money into this individual.
Right.
Now, if Kaepernick would have gave in and did what they said, oh, that coon ain't.
Right.
But the fact that he's doing it now, we're like, man, you gonna keep doing this?
Right.
Come on now.
Yeah.
We ain't feeling like I don't have no money to be giving you to be doing all this talking for us. But we negotiate with the people who have it together, who have the funding, and we'll allow them to keep the platform. And the moment you say something I don't like, I don't want to talk to you no more.
Right.
You know, you don't represent me. The same thing we're doing to Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis been doing this his whole career. Speaking out on stuff he knows nothing about. But it was cool when he was winning for the Ravens.
Right.
Now that he's no longer a Raven.
Yeah, because I can't take I can't take him.
But we didn't say anything in the beginning. We didn't say anything. He was cool because he was winning games.
Right.
He had it together. He was so inspirational at first.
Right.
That's what they
which
said.
Which I
about
never
them.
understood how sports people can be these big inspirations. But you're right. You're right.
It's the
yeah,
adrenaline
you're
that
right.
he had behind him. At first, he was inspirational. Now he's just annoying
Yeah.
and stupid, even.
Right.
But we put him there. We did that. We made him believe that he had something valuable
Right.
to say to us.
We made him think he was more worthy of just being a linebacker, huh?
But that,
like, bruh, stick to the linebackers.
That seed is important.
Y'all made him a leader.
And Bill Cosby spoke on this. He said the things he said about young men pulling up those pants because he was in those boardrooms with those people that was making decisions for that young man.
Right,
So
right.
he knew what to say. It's just his image wasn't squeaky clean. So we didn't listen to that. But we put these people in power, whether they be celebrities or politicians. I see them as one and the same now.
Right.
So we can't tell that actor don't say nothing. They have a platform. They can speak.
That's
we
true.
need to encourage them to say the right things, not just speaking to the people that most benefit, that's closer to their percentage,
Right.
financial percentage. But
So we enjoy the passion they have of wanting to speak.
Yeah,
but
but
they
they
need to
doing
have
something for
right.
us.
But they need to have somebody
Right.
to guide them and say, "Listen, this is what you need to
Right.
say," and then back it up with some action.
But the moment he stopped winning Ravens games for us, we didn't want to hear what he had to say.
Right.
His intelligence didn't change.
Right.
It was still always there.
Right, right.
He's no longer inspirational. We just said he was there when he left that first year. Remember, he came back and spoke to the team, and they was in that first losing slump.
Right.
He was inspirational. Now he's annoying to people because we really listening to what he's saying and realizing there's no merit.
No merit at all. So let's go over some of Dr. Anderson's recommendations with leadership. So the first one, he says, is a new kind of Black Leadership Institute is needed. The current scarcity of Black individual and organizational leadership needs to be changed.
He said we need better or new institutions.
Yeah, we need a new kind of Black leadership to institute.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? The scarcity of Black individuals and organizational leadership. Blacks must establish a think tank with intellectual infrastructures that focus exclusively on formulating national policy blueprints for the solutions to the multitude of conditions crippling Black America. So he's saying we got to reach high. We got to get some people and some Black people that know how to rub elbows, you know what I mean, with some of these politicians. That's what I'm getting from it.
But that's how I have an issue with this man, and I want to meet him.
You want to meet Dr. Anderson?
I want to meet him because this is the problem: the rubbing of elbows, because that person forgets to then go back to that community and teach what they learned.
That's
because
true.
Now I'm
That's
rubbing
true.
elbows. So do I go back or do I just use this for my own?
Yeah, he called it a think tank of intellectual infrastructures. So I think what he's saying is, we gotta. So if you got a Jesse and an Al and whoever else, I think he's saying those 5 people have to get together and then make a think tank because they know how to approach.
But it sounds like he wants us to. It's that idea of do we want to be equal or do we want to be more powerful? And that's the part that I have a problem with. Are we trying to replace the current arena or be an addition to it? Or be like opposing force to it? And it sounds like individuals that write like him just want Black people to be in control. And that's not, ultimate power corrupts. We see that. So we can't just replace the system because we're going to become the system.
Yeah, now my take on it is that he's trying to get us to be able to function within it and make the others respect us on a level.
It's not going to happen.
Right. It's definitely an uphill battle.
I don't care how much money you got.
It's definitely an uphill battle.
I don't care. Obama and Michelle were the leaders of this country.
Right.
They still called them.
Still got dogged out. Yeah.
So
still got dogged out.
It's not going. No matter how, and that's the issues I have with individuals that write like him or feel like he does. I don't care what you. It's nothing you can do to make some Asian or some white respect you.
Right.
You have to have that within your own community, regardless. Right. And they base their respect off of what your community think about you.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's saying. That when we begin to do things Because in order for us to achieve anything, if it's 5 of us, the 5 of us are going to have to respect each other.
Right.
And I think he's saying when they see that and then understand that you've become a force for your community, that they'll give you more respect. That's actually what I get for it. But
we have to gear that towards us,
right?
Not getting them to respect us.
Right.
Us
that's true.
Actually having that amongst ourselves.
It starts with us,
or not come,
regardless.
But it starts and finishes with us.
Yeah,
we have to just figure this out.
I like that. I'm with that. Start and finish with us.
We definitely have to respect one another first.
Right. Right.
Before they even think about it, the trends of this community are set by us. We set the style, the music, the temperature.
Right.
All those things are funneled by what the black community thinks.
That's right.
Because
that's right.
The moment that something
we
doesn't
set the
work,
trends.
What do? They go to the black community and start creating programming and products that suit us because they know we're going to spend our money recklessly.
Recklessly, very recklessly.
So they gear everything towards us. So why not gear the positive stuff towards us? It just doesn't make sense.
Now this next one here, I like it, but it's definitely a big task. He says a national public policy and plan should go hand in hand with the training of new black leadership. Because he says black leadership, we don't have nothing in place to train them. So they kind of on their own.
You know what I mean? This stuff is, you can't recreate the wheel in terms of leadership.
Right.
You either have it or you don't have it.
True.
These things, you can't just, we have institutions of higher learning. It's just now funding those institutions and putting people in place there that will not steal the money, that will not just pay.
And that's why I said that's a task. So he says all levels of black America need to understand how they would benefit as individuals and as a race in terms of wealth, power, peoplehood, and general improvement in quality of their life. So I guess that would go into the, educating us on how it's going to. Yeah. I've been trying to reach out to him, but look, we're gonna go to commercial break. We'll be right back, brother Mike. Black by the Man Radio Show, sponsored by BlackByTheMan.com. Stay with us. Yeah, I've been trying to reach out to him.
Ladies, are you in need of the best quality hair extensions, a cute outfit, or that perfect pair of shades? Pink Ice products can cover you from head to toe, from flawless weaves to apparel. Visit us online at pinkiceproducts.bigcartel.com. We're located at 3000 Old Alabama Road, 119-303, Alpharetta, Georgia. Or give us a call at 470-488-6484. Come on in and check out Pink Ice products today.
Hey, there's my son. You've been in your room all morning.
Hey, Dad.
Matt, what's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong with my voice.
Oh, well, it's just sort of.
I have been playing my video games and electronic games for so many hours.
Well, it sounds like it might be time for you to take a break, or...
Hello, Dad.
Susan?
I have been watching TV and text messaging all morning. Yay, electronics. Yay, yay, yay.
Guys, I think it's about time to get in the car and take a little trip. Maybe see some trees, some green things.
What are these green things you speak of?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Get out to the forest and discover the wonders of nature with your family, just like Blue, Jewel, and the whole Rio flock.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo!
Let's rock this jungle.
Yeah!
Fresh air.
What a glorious morning.
Clean water.
Woohoo! This is great.
And endless surprises.
Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing.
Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, family, to the Black by the Man Radio Show. We have been covering leadership and going over the analysis of leadership in a book by Dr. Claude Anderson called Black Labor, White Wealth. Please check this out on Powernomics, because we will be having other shows where we discuss some of the things that he's discussing in this book. I know everybody doesn't take time out or even have the time to read books all the time, so we'll take a couple shows and go over a few things. So we was talking about leadership. Okay, so Dr. Anderson also says new black leadership must use technological advances to create a national information network that could be designed to communicate with constituents and to broaden educational, scientific, economic, and technological cooperation among and with black communities. So sounds like to me he's saying we got to use our tech guys. We got to use our tech guys to establish lines of communications with other continents. I'm assuming he's referring to here. Yeah, to communicate. Yeah, constituents.
The good old voters.
Yeah, the good old voters. Fancy words for voters and getting you a tech team together. He also says new black leadership must, hold on, wrong page. He says the black leadership must develop a strategy for blacks to compete in domestic and international markets with the majority and other minority communities. Empowerment goals and timetables must be established, promoted throughout every black community. So he's saying the leadership must take on the responsibility of getting us to be able to compete on a domestic and international level.
But that's not an individual person.
No, that's our leadership,
are
right?
Presidents of HBCUs,
right? Yeah, right.
Mothers and fathers,
right.
Teachers, and really going back to a point where we want our children to be educated. That empowers leadership, not just leaders, the person, but leadership, the ideal of what leadership is. But we told our children, go to YouTube, learn how to be a photographer. You can be a photographer. And we're not able to compete with Trump's kids that he sent to Harvard and Yale. Like, we can't compete with that if we didn't step foot into a higher education platform. So we don't have the piece of paper. That's all they have is a piece of paper. We don't know what their GPA was. It's just like we don't know how much money they made last year. But that piece of paper does more for you than just open up a door, because there are already black people that are getting international businesses, that have international business. So the platform is already there. The opportunities are already there. We're just not educated enough to be able to walk through that door without feeling like I'm a barber, I don't need a credit card machine. Why not? Because everybody's using credit cards.
That's
I walk
ridiculous.
around the city with more than $5 in my pocket, so I don't have it. But we're not equipping ourselves with the knowledge that we need to have. You don't have the knowledge to have an international business. How you want an international business if you don't know how to run a local business?
That's true. That's true.
It's not going to be possible.
And that is what he's saying, so we can compete in international markets. I guess I'm assuming, the people who are on that level, I'm assuming he's referring to, they need to interact with the, the people who can bring technological advances, so forth and so on.
And that's
people
where
getting
the level
together.
Stops. So that means you're talking to yourself. You're not talking to young people. You're not talking to parents. You're not talking to you're talking to people who are already there. Who have the credit score, who have the financial backing. That doesn't say anything to all of us. So you're no different than any other race that's talking to people who got enough money to be able to go to the trip that you're going to. It's who are you talking to?
Okay. I definitely see your
point.
When
I hear that, I ask, who are you talking to?
I think he feels he's talking to everybody. That's what I think he feels. You know what I mean? Okay. He also says the new black leadership must be able to discern and counter the new so-called blind or race-neutral racism, which does nothing more but maintain the status quo. They must understand and forcefully counter the political ploys of conservative think tanks, which constantly develop and promote new code words for racism.
He's still worried about other people.
He's definitely concerned about other people. I'm trying to relate to his perspective because of what he's done in life. Being a part of the Jimmy Carter administration, so forth and so on. And when you read this book, what you're going to find is that he lays out basically things that was done to us and things that were put in place and the code words that were used through the laws and statutes that they knew was going to affect us without us knowing it when we read it. And I think maybe that comes across in his book without the reader knowing. You understand what I mean? Knowing that. I mean, that's all I can come up with as far as that.
I would rather have read that than you telling me to focus on this person's lane while I'm traveling in my lane.
Right.
And there's a meme that's out, and it's two swimmers, and one of the swimmers is looking over here at this lane, and they're obviously looking up at that person beating them.
Right.
And then, because you're focused over here, like I don't care what this white person is doing in their house. It may be affecting what's happening in my house, but if I'm stopping what I'm doing to focus on what they're doing at their dining room table, how far am I actually getting? I'm not doing anything for my individual culture or self.
So with all of this being said and everything that's being done,
like, what are we gonna do about it?
Yeah, how are we supposed to find new black leadership?
Well, yeah, that's
all of this.
That's definitely the question that's on the table. I don't have an answer for it. You know what I mean? Because I don't even know how they found the current black leadership that they claim, other than higher powers anointing them and putting them in that position. Because I don't know of anything that we have as a community where we look at a pool of potential leaders.
Because he just wrote a book about there not being leaders.
Right.
Opposed to writing a book on how to be a leader.
Right. Well,
I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? I think his answer to that is his second book. So this book is basically, you're going to get money, right? So this book is supposed to basically be about what has happened. It got us where we at. And then Powernomics, he calls his national plan for countering all of this. So in the other book, and I have that book. I haven't read it completely yet. I'm only, okay. I'm only halfway through it. So, but yeah, that's what Dr. Anderson came up with. And
I don't knock his hustle.
Right? Yeah, don't knock the hustle. But yeah, I don't have an answer for as to how we get the proper black leaders in place. You know what I mean?
Well, at least we have an answer why.
Be the third book for 29. Right.
At least we have an answer why it seems like it's frozen in time then.
Yeah, well, I think on a surface level it's frozen in time because we've never even considered changing it. Like, we've never even considered it for what it was. Like most black people don't even feel that they have a leader.
Well, they feel like they don't count, but I guess the next segment.
Right. Yeah, they feel like they don't count, or the voice is not of any type of importance or anything. But I definitely think we need to get some people who are going to step up, who have that ability at least, to be in a position like Jesse or Al, you understand what I mean? And then, bring something different to the table. But look, we're going to go to commercial break again. We'll be back. Black by the Man Radio, Brother Mike, Janice McCaffity, Nate Couser will be back.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Ladies, are you in need of the best quality hair extensions, a cute outfit, or that perfect pair of shades? Pink Ice products can cover you from head to toe, from flawless weaves to apparel. Visit us online at pinkiceproducts.bigcartel.com. We're located at 3000 Old Alabama Road, 119-303, Alpharetta, Georgia. Or give us a call at 470-488-6484. Come on in and check out Pink Ice products today.
TGIW, you listening to the Be Inspired Radio Show. TGIW.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Right? No, he didn't. But I think stuff like this needs to be discussed because it's a start. Even if it stimulates your mind, like with Nate, where you're not really feeling it, but at least it gets you thinking.
And I don't disagree with him writing it or even what he has to say. It's just, as a young person, I am seeing that we're talking still about the problem. Right. And there's still no solution.
Right.
You haven't.
So we back on, fam? Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, the discussion is so good. We sit here talking during the break. But yeah, go ahead, donate. Go ahead,
but
though,
it's
brother.
just we're still not focusing on young people and showing them what could happen.
Right.
I am tired of hearing about a lot of young people, and I'm not saying this myself. We're tired of the reason why we don't want to go see slave movies anymore.
Yeah, I don't watch them either. Yeah, I
but
don't watch them
somebody
either.
needed to watch that.
Somebody did.
Somebody still needs to watch that. Roots still need to be watched by somebody. And as an adult, I'm gonna tell you, Roots is much different as 35 is when I saw it when I was 15.
Right.
It was much different. It's much different.
Right.
But we can't keep on writing about the problem or trying to address the problem. We know what the problem is, you know, and it's not just them wanting to stop us. It's now us now. We
definitely play our part. Yeah, we play our part.
So what do we now do? How do we prepare ourselves to not have this as an issue? How do we eliminate this?
Right.
How do we keep from somebody like Barack Obama image and legacy being totally wiped out?
Right.
How do we keep stuff like that from happening?
Right.
Opposed to just telling us this is the problem. Racism. Well, racism is since the beginning of time. You know, it's colorism, cultural differences. But how do we address the problem? And it's not just we need to go back to a segregated South.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think that's the solution. Right. Yeah, I don't think that's the solution. No. I think the only way to even come close is somehow we have to figure out a way to get those who are interested educated on the topic. You get what I'm saying? And notice I said those who are interested, because a lot of us are not interested, right? But for those who are, we got to figure out a way to start implementing it. Rather it's, you know, parents gaining more knowledge and trying to pass it to their kids. Dr. Anderson writing books, Dr. Umar Johnson having platforms where he speaks. Yeah, like we got to combine all that together. You know, like I never believe in anything coming from just one source. You know what I mean? Like in order to get the whole picture of anything, you got to get it from different sources. You know what I mean? And from all those different sources, you might be able to put together something solid and say, okay, let me take a little bit of what he says, a little bit of what that person says, and maybe try to start enacting something. But I definitely think we got to start discussing it, because it's not even anything that's discussed.
But I still look at these issues like an army. Like, everybody can't be the soldier. Everybody can't be the general. Somebody needs to be the chef.
Yes.
Somebody needs to come in and entertain them so they can get some relief from this fight that they have. And somebody needs to be the secretary. Somebody, you know, every job is necessary. And when people realize that, everybody's not going to try to be the leader.
Right, yeah. Which is good.
Is in different forms, because I'm leading as a teacher and as an artist, as a radio personality. That's my sense of leadership.
Right.
And me helping back. But where in your life do you lead? And that's the question that I think people need to ask themselves. And then we can get to a place where this job is just as valuable as this job.
Right.
It's not all about...
Because that is true. Yeah, because all jobs are valuable. Emergency alert. Yeah, because all jobs are valuable, because jobs that we feel, you know, like I'm in the cleaning game also, right? You know, so, you know, it's janitorial work, it's commercial work, you know, but it's needed. You know, if my team doesn't go in there and clean that building, you're going to notice that when you come in the next day. And it is going to affect more than what you think. It ain't going to be just the smell of trash. It's going to affect your morale for the day. You ain't going to feel so enthused about doing work when the building looks a mess. So, yeah, I agree. Everybody's position is of the utmost importance. I just think we got to get more people in a position who want to try to move things forward, because we are so comfortable.
They're already in those positions.
But
they just don't have the cultural...
It's not organized, and we're not supporting it. Okay.
How many black corporations are hiring you?
Right.
You know, and it is not about just race, but that is important, because no other race is going to take advantage of the services that you offer if they don't see your own community doing it.
Right, yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, you have an event, you post it on Facebook, you have like an event, and people that don't know you see the people that's on your station don't even come to your event.
Right, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we don't always have the perspective of what reality is. You know, like with me, I'm very strong and very pro-black. A lot of black people makes them uncomfortable, right? But I'm from Harford County, grew up around white people, black people, all that. The white people, some of them even tune into the show. they completely respect what I'm doing. You know, they send me messages like, hey, Mike, checked out the show, man. I love what you're doing, man. So it's weird, you know what I mean? So here you got black people like sitting on the edge of their seat like, oh God, don't say that. And then the white people are looking like, this is great. Yeah.
They don't see it. They don't see
Right. They're just respecting that I'm trying to do something that's better for my people. And being that they know, of course, their people do that and Asian people do that. They don't see it as being a problem.
That's
but
what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do, right? But black people don't understand that. They think it's a problem.
There's still white people out there, or I don't want to say white, but people of other cultures out there who see what you're doing as, well, you're eliminating the possibility of working. We do the same exact thing.
Right.
We're afraid to say we're black anything.
Right.
Because I'm mixed with a little, you know.
Nobody wants to be black. You know what I mean?
Nobody wants that. Most people don't want that title.
Right.
And now young people are embracing it to a point where it's in our face.
Right.
And it's making
I love that. I love that.
But it's making a lot of older people
uncomfortable.
Because that's not what we do. We don't talk like that.
Right.
You gotta say the endings to that word. That's not how you say it. It's get. It's not get.
Right.
You know, we have structural damage up here.
Yes, we
in
do.
terms of who we are and why we are.
Right.
We hold on to a language that was forced on us.
Right.
But we use it as a weapon when other people don't speak directly on the line of it.
Right.
And everything, but it's. I have an issue with we blaming outside sources. Yes, they have their part in this terrible situation. But look at those 3 fingers pointing back at you.
Right. Well, I definitely agree. We got to focus on us. Yeah. No, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
And not even worrying about how they see us working, or how they see us in general.
Right.
But focus on us. You
focus
got
on that.
nephews and nieces that can't afford to go to school.
Right.
Yet you're donating to causes that are outside of your culture.
Hey, brother, now it's funny you said that, right? Because this is something else that I do that tends to make black people uncomfortable. When I be in restaurants and I pay for my food, you know, fast food or whatever, right? And then they say, you know, would you like to donate $1 towards saving pets, towards St. Jude's or whatever? I always say, is this in support of African Americans? And then they say, yeah, they'd be like, well, no, not that I know of. And I'd be like, okay, well, no, thank you. So then one day, I had an Asian woman. She's the only person ever said to me, she said, do you mind if I ask you why you said that? I said, because as a black person, we are the poorest in this society. But every time I'm asked to donate money to something, it's never for my people. It's never sickle cell. It's never to strengthen black community. It's always for St. Jude's and, you know, this and that. I said, so right. But you get what I'm saying? Like, there's never anything that's isolated just for us. But at the same time, we in the worst conditions. I said, so I just like to, you know, try to donate towards something that's helping my people. I spent a lot of my years donating to other stuff. I'm out of that phase now.
We have businesses and we get to the point where we need interns or we need...
Right.
How many... Do you have any nephews and nieces that you know need the money?
Right.
That you can train to do it?
Right.
We don't like nepotism because that's so ghetto. All your family is working with you. That's
ain't that crazy?
I need to go hire me a little white boy who can do the job that my little niece is out ready. She'll never be ready if somebody doesn't show her.
Get her feet wet.
Right.
But put her in the game.
That's something on her resume at 14 and 15.
That's right. That's right.
She probably won't be able to get until she's about 28.
Right.
But we wonder why these little white children and Jewish children and Asian children got it going on at 18 and 19. And they created because somebody gave them the resources.
Yes, they did.
Somebody gave them the opportunity.
Well, we gave them some Jordans.
That won't even be worth anything.
Won't even be able to fit them in 6 months.
Right, not even fit them, but they won't be worth anything because now we're demolishing the relationship that Michael Jordan has with the Jordan Company.
Right.
Like, he got to the point where his shoes. No, we didn't. I didn't put a gun to your head until you go buy those shoes.
Right.
My child liked them, or I, as an adult, like them. But I'm not saying anything about any of the other brands.
Right.
And that's the problem that I have. That's no different than any celebrity that gets to a certain level of esteem, or they're in the Illuminati.
Right. Right. Without selling their soul, right?
Why people not even saying that? That's us saying that.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Whitney couldn't have been that strong. She must have had killed somebody off.
Right,
You know,
right.
Jennifer Lewis had to sacrifice her family to be able to be Jennifer Hudson. Like, that's just, but we do that.
Yes, that's true.
I'm a person that believes the Willie Lynch letter was written by some angry black person.
What,
I really do.
Wouldn't that
That's
be
my
crazy?
thing.
Well, you know the guys from the West Indies, so I mean, I don't know of a bunch of white people in the West Indies. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, it's highly possible. It's highly
Some
possible.
Democratic black person.
Right. But yeah, no, I agree with you. We definitely got to take more control and more responsibility for the part that we play in this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I agree 100%. You can't focus on what part somebody else is playing. We write a book, man. Me and you write a book. It'd be a bestseller.
This is wonderful.
It'd be a bestseller, right?
We all know this, though. We all know it. It's just we just so trapped into believing. Tax season come, I don't put that money into the side.
Right.
What I do, I go to Miami.
Right.
You know, I go back to the mall and spend the money. You know.
And I know some people that like get like 10 G's every year. Like I remember I found out one of my friends, he's a young guy, and when he told me that, he's like, yeah, we've been getting that for about 5-6 years. And I'm looking like, man, somebody giving you 10 G's every year and you still broke. Like, you can't give me $10,000 every year and think that I ain't about to, you know.
We're already behind.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What do we do when we're behind?
I'd have still stacked that paper. I'd have said, I'm staying behind. I need to do this about 3 times, get me about 30 grand, and then I'm going to open something up.
You seen something or learned something.
Yeah,
to know
that's
that
true.
There's something else on the other side.
Right.
A lot
and we
of
don't.
people don't.
Right.
I can say honestly to myself, all the money that I've ever made, I could be such a great artist right now, so much further as an artist. But all I knew how to do was make the money, spend the money. And I'm now 34 saying, man, if I'd have just, we all got a windfall check before and been like, what do I do with this?
Yeah. We definitely all got that story. We definitely all got that story.
Cheesecake Factory.
Right.
Went got a pair of shoes, got a fresh haircut.
Right. Yeah, we love to stay fresh.
Bought the latest phone. And
we got to stay on top of our game. Yeah, we are #1 consumer. So consumption is what we do.
Mall makes more money than any other mall in this city, and it's nothing in there for your mind, body, or spirit.
Right.
Nothing.
All materialistic.
All materialistic stuff made in China.
Wow.
That won't even last you beyond that year.
Yeah, that's true. So teaching habits, it starts with the children. Right? So we not teaching the children correctly when we letting them live that lifestyle as a youngin'. Because I always felt that anyway. Like, it's not teaching the value of $1. You know what I mean? If you know, you ain't even 10 years old yet, and I just bought you a pair of sneakers for $180, right? You know, like, that's not teaching them the value of $1.
Nowadays, it look like the kids are trying to teach the parents. You're learning more from the children than
social media has definitely helped them learn some different stuff that they wouldn't have just through, you know, I guess their regular education system, you know.
I said if I had a square when I was like 21, I'm just telling you, I would have been bad.
Be some paper. Because
that used to be the thing. Oh, you know, I don't have any cash on me. Sorry.
Right. All right, well, Nate, brother, I appreciate you sitting there.
No problem.
This is Brother Nate. Nate's show is the Artist Exchange Show.
The book is coming soon.
All right, yep. You can catch it here on BeExposedRadio.com. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's been a great show. We talked about Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. So I want to thank my guest, Miss Janice McCaffity, as well as Brother Nate here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, learned a little something. If you get a chance, check the book out. We will be revisiting this book on a couple other shows, man, and it's been great, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in and hanging out with us. It's Brother Mike, the Black by the Man radio show, only on BeExposedRadio.com, sponsored by BlackByTheMan.com, and it's Black media, y'all. So we need you to tune in and participate with us. So again, I thank you. Signing off, Brother Mike, and you already know what it is. I'll catch y'all on the flip side, the black side. Peace.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yo, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the radio loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like